Hello and welcome to, I think, the 24th episode of the Realist Podcast, a podcast about our real list. I'm your host, Ellis.
And I'm your host, Gloria.
And today we have a selection from...
Me! We have Mortal Kombat, and if
The new one.
The new one, not the 1995 one. No, it was...
Which I thought we were watching the 1995 one.
No, it says 97.
No, that was the second one. That was the sequel to the first one.
Annihilation. So when did the first one come out?
The first one came out in 95.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. This one came out in 95, and of course it's Mortal Kombat. Who doesn't know Mortal Kombat? You've never seen this movie, but I've seen this movie twice. This is my third time seeing this movie.
I've never seen any of the Mortal Kombat anything. I might have played the games once, but I'm not a fighting game person, so I don't know much about Mortal Kombat. I know the theme song. That's about it. Yeah, I am very good at yelling "Test your might." That's about where my ability and understanding of the franchise stops.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a guy named Sub-Zero who's got some ice. He's like Frozone but Asian.
So this movie was directed by Simon McQuoid.
No Simon Pegg this time.
No Simon Pegg.
McQuoid?
McQuoid or McQuoid?
I'm gonna go with McQuoid.
Screenplay done by Greg Russo, Dave Callahan, based on the Mortal Kombat by Ed Boon and John Tobias.
Which, is this referencing the game or the previous movie?
The franchise.
Okay, the franchise in 1992. Okay.
Starring Louis Tan, Jessica McNamee,
McNamee, Joshua Lawson, Tadanobu Satao. Whoa.
That's
McCad Brooks, Ludi Lin,
Chinhan,
Johannes.
That's the guy who played Sub-Zero.
Taslim. Okay. And hold on. And Hikaru Sanada. Which one of these is the funny one?
Kano? I think that's Kano. Lawson.
This is Kano? Damn, he doesn't look like him.
Yeah.
Damn.
His role,
okay,
Kano.
Yeah. I accidentally clicked on him. What the heck? How did he... Oh, I guess this was almost 10 years ago, this picture of him. So, not names that I think any of us are really familiar with.
No,
or either
not
of us
at
are
all.
familiar with.
So this movie is based on you have Scorpion, who is Hatashi Hanzo, and he what was his clan's name?
Oh God,
it was the Shiryu Ninja Clan, and then he was sought out by a Chinese assassin named Bihan, who was Sub-Zero and is looking to kill and end his bloodline, and he...
Because of a prophecy.
And so...
Those things always work out.
Yeah.
Prophecy, when you're trying to mess up a prophecy, it usually never comes back to bite you.
So Bihan storms Hanzo's compound, and
that's just like his house.
Kills all his men, kills his wife and child, and then they do this big fight with Bihan and Hanzo in the beginning. Hanzo ends up dying because Bihan kills him, and Hanzo's like, remember this face.
Yeah.
As he dies, Bihan leaves and was like, the Hanzo bloodline is dead to Shang Tsung. I also wanted to talk about Shang Tsung because Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat, was played by a completely different person, and I honestly preferred that person who played Shang Tsung to play Shang Tsung in this movie.
What, so you're talking about the 1995 movie?
Yes, in the 95 edition, Shang Tsung was played by an actor who actually looked like Shang Tsung. This guy did not look anything like Shang Tsung that I've seen.
Well, these guys are like flesh and blood instead of animated, so it does make a difference.
The
only people that looked the same is Reptile.
No,
because he's invisible.
The 95 version was live action.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying compared to the games.
Yeah, but the 95 version Shang Tsung looked like Shang Tsung in the video games.
Nah, I don't think he was. I think he was 3D in the movie.
You're not. You're just busting my balls at
Yeah,
this
I
point.
am. Yeah, I have been the whole time actually. I wanted to talk about the beginning scene though,
What did you want to?
because so you've seen the earlier movies, yeah?
I've only seen the original Mortal Kombat, but I've
Okay,
never
not the 97
not the
sequel.
97. My
Okay.
grandfather maybe, but
Uh the scene of the beginning being set in like feudal Japan or whatever,
mhm.
and then transitioning from then into like the modern day. When we started out in Japan, I had no idea what I was getting into. I
Mhm.
saw like 2 minutes of it when you watched it through, probably the first time I was with you, or you were in the other room, and I came in and watched like the beginning of it, and then I was like, not for me, because it. I'll be honest.
It is a lot of blood and it's a lot of gore. You gotta.
It doesn't have like as much gore, or it didn't feel like it had as much gore as as the Cornetto trilogy. Weirdly enough, I feel like
Really?
yeah, well, comparing it to Hot Fuzz anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gorier, but it feels less out of place. When something crazy happens in Hot Fuzz, like the guy getting his chin impaled on the church, and even that's towards the end of the movie.
Ugh.
Or
I
like
will
the guy
never-
getting the church thing dropped on his head.
Ugh.
That's
Please, I just ate. I don't want to
That's-
expel my guts on your desk.
I like see, but this is my point, right? You're having a reaction to that, but we're talking about Mortal Kombat, and that's not the feeling you're getting, right?
No.
Because the stuff in Mortal Kombat feels like more in place and at the same time more cartoony. You go into a movie like Hot Fuzz, like, okay, this guy's like the craziest police officer ever, but it's still sort of grounded feeling.
For the
And then
greater
these,
good.
yeah, and then these crazy things happen. Whereas this, it's like, okay, we start off this movie and it's like a ninja fight and whatever. And I was like, oh, this is
You
really
have
cool.
elder gods and you have sorcerers.
Well, okay,
and
even
you have...
before you get to that, before you get to any of that, like, okay,
Oh, what? The open...
you're introduced to a guy who can make ice, right?
You're like, that looks like it hurts. That
Yeah.
was the first words out of your mouth.
It
that,
did.
That looks like it hurts.
His hands were turning bloody when he was making the ice.
I mean,
Like,
consequences to having ice
man,
powers.
the thing that I'm familiar with is like a 2-ton green steam engine looking thing that makes ice, but this is even before that, and it's just some dude. He could make millions just making ice cubes for people in like the 1500s or whenever this is, whenever that's set, right? So, my point is, the only person that will get that joke is not going to watch this podcast.
Who?
But, why? Well,
Oh.
talking about the big green steam engine on the
Why
Olympia.
we'll watch this episode just
Uh,
to get this reference.
Yeah, watch like 8 minutes in, and then that's it. That's all you have to see. All you have to listen to. No, there might be one of the other guys that gets that, but point is, it did look like it hurt, but we were in, again, I call it feudal Japan. I don't know what year it was supposed to be. Does it say anywhere?
17th century Japan.
Okay, 17th century. All right, it's staring me in the face. But first of all, that is a long time between tournaments.
Yeah,
Uh,
because it's every 100 years or every.
I mean, it looks like it must be like 500. Well, okay, we don't know how many things went by, but you would think that like the 9th one happened then, and they killed them all, and the 10th one is happening. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Point is, I was really into the idea that we were going to be doing like ninja fights for 2 hours. And I don't know. I don't know like any of the lore. Obviously, this is my first introduction to the lore, which, according to the critics, is not like it's just trying to make characters and force them into a plot. I don't know. Do these characters usually have this kind of lore, or
What do you mean?
like the story they used for the movie? Is it rooted in the games at all, or is it just borrowing the characters?
Honestly, the storylines are a lot different in the games.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's kinda what I
they were just using the characters but the whole synopsis between Sonya explaining what Mortal Kombat is,
right.
that is real. Her doing the research and the history, explaining it to Cole was actual, like the actual, like that is the actual lore of Mortal Kombat. There is the tournaments every other century or every other certain amount of years, you know, and
Between realms.
between realms. Yeah, that was real, but
Yeah.
I think they, well, you know.
Yeah. No, it is real. It is real. I have the mark. I'm gonna go fight in Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna kill someone with my hat.
Okay, sure.
That's why I never wear hats. It's because it would unleash my power.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Just wait till we've got to, like, cut up, wait till we've got to cut, like, chicken strips, and I just chuck my hat down on the floor, and it turns into a table saw, and I start sawing the raw chicken on the floor.
Oh, well, like Kung Lao?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When he saws the flying chick.
Oh, yeah.
Which is brutal.
Yeah, that's a fatality, or a brutality, as they call it.
Speaking of fatalities, I get that they tried to include all the signature moves in as best they could. Chick with the gauntlets. Who you were just talking about that
Sonya?
explained Mortal Kombat. Sonya, after she gets the dragon mark and, like, magically she has gauntlets. You know, she didn't have to train at all, I guess.
Well, they said that their Arcana gets unlocked by
stressful situations.
Yes.
But what stressful situation happened to her between killing annoying dude and showing back up to blast the teeth girl?
You mean, I don't know.
Exactly. No, apparently she doesn't have to train or anything.
Listen. That's a plot hole that you can take up with the people who made the movie.
Listen, this is what I think happened. She killed him, and wait, where was she supposed to be? In, like, Gary, Indiana? She killed him and then was attacked by, I don't know, what's in Gary, Indiana?
I don't know.
It's just like steel mills.
You're the one who has
she
a
was
problem
attacked by, like, a steel golem.
You're the one who has a problem with the Gary,
I don't have
Indiana.
a problem with Gary, Indiana. I just have... You've seen it, too. There's nothing redeeming about Gary, Indiana. It's like the worst city in the world. It's just steel mills. I don't have a problem with steel mills, but, like, man, it's not a wonderful place. If somebody is listening to the show and is from Gary, Indiana, I'm sorry, but not, like, for what I said. I'm sorry that you're in Gary, Indiana. Why did they pick Gary? Anyway, I was gonna say she like walks out of the house and, like, almost got hit by a bus or something, and then she had to use her Arcana and just, like, blasted the bus into a million pieces, and then she teleports back to the thing, and then she blasts that chick again with the... Why is this girl so overpowered immediately?
I don't know. I mean,
Also,
that's what she has in the game.
Yeah, but there was no fight there. She just went bop, and the girl had a hole in her.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Teeth lady.
Melina.
Teeth lady.
Melina.
Teeth lady.
Melina.
Matitha.
I don't want to make this podcast anymore. I'm gonna go take my bottle of wine and hide under the bed and drink it.
Hide under the bed?
Yeah, I'm gonna hide.
With the cat?
Yeah, with the cat.
Yeah. Gloria's gonna climb into the box spring, and I won't be able to find her.
Just shake a bag of treats.
Yeah, and then the head will poke out from underneath. I'll shake that bottle of wine.
Not if I have it under the bed, you won't.
You're gonna run out eventually. By eventually, I mean... Never mind.
Call me an alcoholic on the podcast? You just calling me out like that?
No.
My mom and grandma watch this.
Gloria likes wine. Gloria hasn't had wine in a while because we haven't gone to the liquor store. Today we went to the liquor store because Gloria was sad and got her a bottle of wine. And I won't give predictions on how long it will last. But it will be gone before your birthday. That's actually a pretty generous amount of time. Anyway,
let's get back on topic here, okay?
Yeah, so wait, I like how Jax's superpowers is his arms get stronger. Like, his mechanical arms become better.
Yeah.
That's such a wackadoodle thing.
They're overpowered robotic arms. What more do you want?
Well, I like the idea that... Well, first of all, you're right. You're right. That is awesome. Second of all, it's just the there doesn't seem to be a ton of rhyme or reason to like who gets what and why.
Well, I mean, Jax's story has stayed the same since Mortal Kombat has come out. Jax and Sonya are the same. They were in the military together. Johnny Cage was the movie star.
Right.
Cole was never in any of the Mortal Kombat. Cole was the new addition. Cole is the one that ties this movie all together. Sorry.
Punch the microphone.
Sorry. But Cole is the one that ties this movie all together because he is the descendant of
Scorpion. Well,
Hanzo. So
actually, yeah. So I had no idea about that.
yeah,
But everybody else is from the games?
yes,
Even the forearm dude?
yes, Goro's in the game,
Oh.
and there's
okay.
also a female version of Goro. Her name is Shiva.
Okay. Does she also have forearms?
She does have
Does
forearms.
she have four
No.
anything else?
No.
Oh.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Jesus Christ. But the thing is, Shao Kahn, who you haven't met in this movie. Shao Kahn is the leader of Outworlds. Shang Tsung is just his messenger, I guess.
Yo, hold on a second.
What?
So Shang Tsung is... What is he? Is he one of the Elder Gods?
No, Shang Tsung is he is the king of Outworlds.
Okay. In this or in general?
In general.
Okay.
And he's not in this, but Goro is a prince in this movie because Shang Tsung introduces him as Prince Goro before he sends him after Cole.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that. Remember before the door opens and the giant forearm shadow and he's like, Prince Goro, we've been expecting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and you also notice when Melina shows up to Shang Tsung and they're walking in the desert.
Right, and there's all sorts of other stuff out there.
And they're walking towards Prince Goro's temple, that giant forearm statue that you see in the distance.
So it's something that only people that know the games are going to recognize. Like,
yes.
It's just a piece of lore that... I actually like that. I think that's cool. Because it doesn't matter. For someone like me who does not know what this is, I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not having played the games. Like, I recognize a lot of these names, and so I can do, like, the Leonardo DiCaprio point when Hanzo says, I am Scorpion, I go, yeah, Scorpion, I know that guy.
But, what I want to talk about.
But I'm not missing anything.
When we were watching this movie and all the fight scenes were happening, I was like, I want to play this game now. I want to play. I need to play.
Go play.
I mean, I will, but, like...
But, ooh. Nice crack in your neck, alright. Yeah, I think this movie is good if you're not expecting anything stellar. Like, the acting is okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's some high points in the acting. The writing is okay. I think what's his name's sort of face heel turn. Dick.
Kano?
Yeah. Kano's turn is, like, you don't want it to happen, but I guess it isn't surprising.
In this movie, you love to hate Kano. Like, when I first saw this movie, I despised Kano.
Kano's the best character in this movie.
I was like, he's a douchebag, but he's a funny douchebag, you know?
Yeah. He is like the most interesting character.
Who do you think was the most washed out character?
Washed out? What do you mean by that?
Like, boring, like, unnoticeable, like...
honestly, effing Elder God.
Raiden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did nothing. And here's what infuriates me about that. At the very beginning, not at the very, very beginning, but the first time you meet Big Bad...
Sub-Zero.
Shang Tsung.
Oh, Shang Tsung.
First time you meet Shang Tsung, he's like, we gotta win the 10th tournament. We're gonna mess it up. We've done this before, and the Elder Gods don't care. And then it's established that Raiden is an Elder God. So, dude, what are you doing?
They're not allowed to interfere.
Yeah, but what is it, like... What's the point of being an Elder God if you can't, like, enforce the rules of your own tournament? Like, it's... if he's... One, he's clearly interfering. Second of all...
I mean, he's interfering to a point. He doesn't want all his champions killed.
Right, but it's like, if you're gonna have a freaking tournament, have a tournament, you know? Put your foot down outside of the tournament.
You mean tournament?
Yeah.
You said tournament.
That's what I said.
No, it's tournament.
Tournament. Tomato, tomato.
No.
Route, route. You know what infuriates people? When I use route and route in, like, the same sentence while I'm doing under construction.
Oh.
Uh,
I'm gonna stab you.
Oh, that's actionable threats. We can't have that on the podcast.
No, I'm kidding.
How about Kano turning into the Terminator? By the way, did you see it? Did you see what I meant? Hold on. I didn't show you. Hold on, just...
Kano is not the Terminator.
The Terminator.
Yes, I know. I know what you mean. He's
got like the half side of his face, and he's got the
you should look up Kano from like the game. Look up Kano for Mortal Kombat.
Kano Mortal Kombat.
11.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat versus Alright, yeah. Looks like Terminator. What?
Why? Why look that up? I just told you to look up Kano
Alright,
for Mortal Kombat 11.
fine. Yeah, he's want to be Terminator. And he's secretly gay, apparently. According to this article. From gaystarnews.com. He's the Terminator. That's what he wants. Yeah. It's like M. Bison being like Mike Tyson, but not. 100%. They're based on something. When did Terminator come out?
Your mom.
Terminator
91.
Came out 1984 was the original Terminator. Okay, yeah, I'm going with that. I assume that's on purpose.
I don't think so.
I have to no.
Where is he? Think so.
Where is he? Kano, Mortal Kombat. Character design. Inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in The Terminator. Boom! It's the easiest deduction I've ever made.
You're sleeping on the couch tonight.
Remember how we were talking about like whose superpower we want? I'm gonna go back to Batman being super swole, having tons of money, and apparently being the world's greatest detective, if that's what qualifies.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's better than being Wolverine.
You know what? At least I'll fucking outlive you, okay? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but I can fly.
Batman can't fly.
He can't fly.
He can.
He
Batman
can glide.
The only superpower Batman has is being super rich, okay?
And being super swole. Yeah, he's like peak human. Batman is peak human.
Okay, but have you seen Batman versus Superman? No.
Batman vs. Superman, I don't care what it is, it's always going to be trite because Superman's overpowered. Superman is OP.
Well, guess what? Superman dies at the end
Yeah,
of that
I know,
movie.
because they have to make it that way, otherwise it's just going to be 100% of people going, well, of course Superman wins, Superman's OP. Batman with prep time beats Shang Tsung 100% of the time.
We're not even supposed to be talking about other movies. We're supposed to be talking about Mortal Kombat. See what you did?
Yeah, how dare I make a podcast that's interesting. Listen, the second best episode of this podcast was the one where we talked about none pizza left beef. So.
I want to go home. I want to go home.
Alright, I'm done laughing for now. What else? What was your favorite part of this movie? Before I talk about more things that I call BS on, even though I really did enjoy this.
My favorite part of this movie was the end scene. Was the big fight between Bihan and Hanzo. Or Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
That's a pretty good one.
Oh man, that fight, because the crazy thing is because I used to watch my dad and brother play Mortal Kombat all together all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to play occasionally, but I used to get my ass kicked royally.
Well, this is why I'm not going to play with you, because I would be you.
And basically, like, I knew all the combos that Scorpion was using, and the signature phrase "Get over here."
Get over here.
Like, it's just, this movie is great. Like, I love this movie. I think when the second one comes out, there's whispers of the Miz potentially playing Johnny Cage.
Les Mis? The musical?
Shut up before I kick your ass. Shut up.
You can't, I know the combos. Anyway.
I'm not amused.
Actually,
I'm not amused.
Speaking of that fight, I wanted to call crap on the resurrecting the people, but he did harness like the power of the netherworld, which I thought was really cool, but I did feel like, wow, what a Deus Ex Machina. But they kind of explain it in the Wikipedia article and saying that his ancestor, Cole, right, drained the blood from the blade, and that's what brought him back, which doesn't make sense to me, but at least there's a reason.
Because Hanzo's blood was on the kunai, and when Sub-Zero grabbed the kunai, it got his blood on it. And remember, Scorpion's death was by Sub-Zero, so when his blood touched the kunai, it summoned him from the nether realm.
See, it's never established that that's a thing that happens, so that totally went over my head.
But it's logical to think of. You think,
I guess.
I mean, if you think about it, the way I think about it is, it's his kunai is cursed, and whoever his enemy was who bleeds on it should summon him to the netherrealm to finish his business.
Yeah, and that actually is cool and makes sense. And it was sort of explained, here. It's just never, expressly explained in the movie. I feel like the whole third act is a little bit rushed, and it doesn't get...
Well, I'm pretty sure they didn't want this movie to go 2 hours long.
No, and it did still make money. Again, I'm not saying
How much did this movie make?
It made $88 million on a budget of it made $83 on a budget of $55, which is still a decent profit. It's like $30 million profit, a little bit less than that. So, I could see them, I could see making another one not being, terrible.
Yeah, I'm excited for the second movie. They haven't released any film dates. They haven't released any cast lists, but I don't know if Cole's going to be in the second one, because honestly, to me, Cole felt like a washed out character. Honestly,
really,
I felt like the movie was
like he just did. He was a do nothing.
The movie was focused around him, and that was it was like basically his movie, quote unquote, because it was his bloodline. But at the same time, there's been rumors of him not being in the second movie, because it's like,
well, I mean, clearly it's setting up for him to continue being the protagonist, though.
I mean, I hope so, because he was a good character, but I felt like he could have been a stronger character.
Well, again, the character acting in this is not...
It's not great.
It's not the movie's high point. The fight scenes are. The fight scenes are really good.
I also like to mention, I like their use of actual Asian actors, because in the 95 version of Mortal Kombat, Raiden was played by a white man.
Oh, man. Actually... I wanted to say on the front of Cole, if we can continue talking about that for a second. I know we're at time, but I feel like that character, I feel like Cole being who he is and being sort of a nothing and being sort of, not someone who is part of the established lore, someone who's just being jumped into this thing, is
he could be a part of the established lore. I don't know. I've never really deep dived into the established lore of this movie.
Well, right, but you said he's never been in a game.
Right.
And that's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
What I mean is he's, to most of the audience, or all the audience, I suppose, if he's not in any of the games, he's a new character. And it's important to have someone like that when you're introducing a new audience to a franchise. Like me. If it was all people that had all been in Mortal Kombat before, and it was like, well, these people need no introduction.
Like it continuing on a continuous story from, the original movie, or
No, just... just used all characters that had all been established already. The point I'm trying to get to is that Cole was a blank slate, and he is the representative of the audience in the plot of the movie. He might be the protagonist, but he's also serving the purpose of he is learning things so that the audience may also learn things.
One more thing before we jump into star ratings. Reptile.
He's awesome.
Reptile.
He's the Invisiblist.
Reptile was also portrayed as a human in the 95 version.
Well, his CG's better now.
Well, CG is better, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Gotcha. I just wanted to make the comparison to finish the thought. It's like when they get a new companion on Doctor Who. Like, some of the best episodes of Doctor Who involve a new companion that has never, like, been on the TARDIS before, never been on these adventures before, whatever. You get to experience that sort of coming to an understanding through someone else's eyes. I know you're telling me to speed it up. Star ratings, I'm going to say 3.5.
3.5?
3.5.
Really?
3.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because while I didn't think it was a good movie, well, I'm acknowledging that it wasn't a good movie. I will acknowledge that it was good for the material it was trying to portray, and it was good for the fans of Mortal Kombat. For me, it wasn't a 5. For me, it really wasn't even a 4. I'm not sure when I would watch this again. So I can't rate it that highly, but I will acknowledge that it has its good moments. It has its good side. And I'm not trying to do Mortal Kombat dirty here. It's just, it is a flawed movie, but it is nevertheless entertaining. Just not as much to me as it is for somebody who cares about Mortal Kombat.
I'm gonna give this a 4.5.
And that seems reasonable for you. And I honestly didn't really expect anything less. You love this movie.
Oh my god, I love this movie so much, and it's I don't know if it's just because, you know, I grew up with Mortal Kombat, and I grew up, you know, just being around it and everything, you know, watching the movies with my grandfather, playing the video games with my brother and dad, you know, it's just, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. Comment if you've seen this movie. Comment if you have anything to say. Next movie is Pacific Rim.
I think it's going to be Pacific Rim. We're gonna continue the trend of
and then
fight scenes.
After Pacific Rim, it's going to be Kong versus Godzilla. Or
we're gonna continue the trend of fights.
Yeah,
this is fantastic. Let's keep this up. All right.
Bye, guys.
Have you seen this man?